How's it? Today is Wednesday, September 25th. I have a new old goal, and that is to just lift and be happy and healthy with what I'm doing. Today is a clean and jerk day, just a little extension of what I did last week. So, two power cleans plus two power jerks at a little bit heavier than what I did last week. And honestly, I think that there was a big difference in how I felt today versus how I felt last week, and that is the progress that I'm looking for. So, I feel like I'm a lot more confident with how my shoulder is in space. I think that sometimes when I'm looking at my cleans, if it's a little bit too out front, then things start to just really hurt on my shoulder, and it's not one of those things that is just my shoulder. It also means that my overall lifting itself is just not as crisp. It's not as dialed in as I think it should be, as I think I can be, as I know I can be. And today was just an indication that I am, still the lifter that I think I am, more or less. I do think that for what it's worth, they are challenging. I think the weights move pretty quickly when you look at how the just if I am not the person that is watching this, because I'm a little bit biased and I remember how these felt when I lifted. But if it's just somebody that's not me looking at these lifts, it looks like I'm moving quickly. It looks like I'm pretty strong. It looks like things are, relatively easy. But with all of that, all those things said, it's like I feel like I'm moving fast, and I feel like the weights are, I guess, relatively light, but I feel like I am trying really, really, really fucking hard. Like the amount of effort that I put into making the lift is just a lot higher than I feel like is necessary. And I don't know if it's because there's a little bit of dissonance between what I expect and what actually is required of me. 100 is not a very heavy weight. 100 is a weight that I can snatch. I don't know if I can snatch it right now, but for power cleans, 100 has just been a weight that I've been able to power clean since, I don't know, 2014, 2013, maybe even before that. It's just not very, when I'm looking at how, when I guess where I've come from and where I've been, 100 is a weight that I know I can always do, and it's just not something that I guess I think about too much. But with that in mind, it's it still requires the same amount of power. It still requires the same amount of force to lift. It's never been changed, right? So it still requires all of those things. It's just the way that I look at the numbers are just a little bit less daunting than they used to be. And maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't know. But yeah, I feel look at that. 105 there. That's moving really fast. But that's like a RPE 10. Or, it's not RPE 10 because I'm going to go for a second rep here. But it feels like very close to almost like maximal effort. And I am completely gassed afterwards. I don't know if that is a function of me being a little bit more injured, or me having my diet being a little bit off, or me sleeping kind of not super consistently. I sleep pretty well. I sleep pretty late, but I also wake up pretty late, and that is, I end up getting 7-8 hours of sleep almost every day. But I feel like it's kind of up and down sometimes. And for me, if I have to be a little bit more diligent about that, that's something that's going to require a much bigger effort than just the simple 90 minutes I'm at the gym. Oh, I did a little starfish there, and Keith was like, "Yeah, good job," and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" But again, if I'm needing to dial in my sleep, which is super necessary if I want to be the best competitor I can be, then I need to put a little bit more mental effort into that alone. And that is, you know, I feel like that is very necessary, but it's also at the same time like there's a trade-off as to why I sleep so late a lot of times. And I feel like when I get home at night, I'm just not as tired as I am during the day. And I don't know if that is like what the reason for that is. Like, yeah, like right when I'm about to go to sleep, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this one like bottle or cup or whatever in the sink, and I start washing the dishes, and then I start cleaning up things all over the place, and then, 45 minutes later, it's like 2 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, that was not what I wanted to do. So, I think just a lot of things outside of lifting need to be like dialed in more if I'm trying to get better sleep. And like that is super important. Like I'm not going to discredit how important that is. Diet and sleep are probably the biggest limiting factor in a lot of people reaching their potential, because it's very easy to just be committed to lifting for 2 hours a day. It's very, very easy to do that, but it's very hard to be committed to making the right decisions 18 hours a day. You're like awake for that long about most of the time. I mean, for me, like, if I sleep 6 hours, which is fairly normal, sometimes I sleep 7, sometimes I sleep 8, but like making the right decisions for the entire day is a lot more difficult than just the 2 hour commitment you make when you get to the gym. So all that to say is like, I feel like my shoulder's getting better, and I don't know what this like kind of weird dissonance is between the amount of effort that I'm putting out and the amount of effort I expect. But I am making progress, and I'm very happy with that. My shoulder feels pretty good. I mean, it doesn't feel great, but we're moving. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.